The assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy on the 22nd of November 1963 in Dallas, while he was in a convoy in his Lincoln Continental convertible, was a watershed in the history of the automobile. The Secret Services, with the Americans in the lead, were prompted to revise from top to bottom the security arrangements for heads of state.
We've seen that change come about from his assassination. Directly after that, there was no more convertible top. That we've seen the evolution happen with the presidential fleet.
The limousines were not permanently put out to pasture. For economic reasons, they were armored by a bodywork specialist who also added a roof. They were in use for 13 more years by successive presidents. Since 2009 and the investiture of Barack Obama, the American presidential motor car seems infallible. It's known as the Beast. There are 10 of them. It's the most secure car in the world. Even its design remains a secret, shared only by the Secret Service and the American car builder, General Motors. But two automobile specialists, Joseph Otero, who trains armored car drivers, and Trent Kendall, skilled in armoring cars, tried to decipher for us the secret of the Beast.
The current presidential armored vehicle, which President Trump is using, it's not your regular car chassis, so it's based on a big truck chassis, and then they built this armored vehicle on that truck chassis.
A lot of the details about what is now commonly referred to as the Beast are classified, but imagine, if you will, if you had a blank piece of paper and an unlimited budget and somebody said, I want you to create the most safe and secure passenger vehicle imaginable.
In all, the government spent 14 million euros on developing this vehicle. Each model costs more than €1 million. The American monster measures 6 meters in length and weighs nearly 7 tons, the weight being due to the vehicle's armor plating of almost 20 centimeters. You hear tales of doors weighing as much as Boeing doors, impossible to open from inside. In spite of having a V8 engine developing 300 horsepower, the car's top speed is 96 kilometers an hour. But all of these details are mere speculation. General Motors gives no information for security reasons. In the United States, in the state of Texas, we find the Texas Armoring Corporation, specialist in armoring vehicles, some of which are destined for heads of states on all 5 continents. Its boss revealed to us some of the secrets of this technological monster. To begin with, a standard car, but in the workshop, it will undergo a whole series of transformations.
So this vehicle is being stripped right now. It's completely, we're taking all the interior out of the vehicle. So the carpet, the headliner, the dash, everything will be removed from this vehicle.
Each part of the vehicle is carefully cataloged and stocked. The second stage can now begin, the armoring.
When we armor a vehicle, we're putting ballistic steel in every part of the vehicle. So you have it in the door, you have it in the floor of the vehicle, you have it in the roof, and then every pillar post also has it all installed. So all these places, right, like this, have steel inside. So it's 100% completely armored.
Ballistic steel is a mixture of iron, carbon, chrome, or nickel. It can be thinner or thicker depending on the type of protection required. The American president's car is thought to comprise an armor of more than 20 centimeters thick, resistant to a mine explosion and shots from war-grade weapons. For each car, the armor is created to measure. Cutting, polishing, and precision fitting. All that remains is to replace the original windows with bulletproof glass. This is a delicate operation. The glass is very heavy.
So this is the ballistic glass. It's basically the back window for one of these Escalades. And it's approximately 60 pounds in weight. It's 40 millimeters thick, and it's going to stop AK-47, M16, that type of assault rifle.
For the Beast, the car created for Barack Obama, then for Donald Trump, the windows are said to be composed of 5 layers of glass with a total thickness of 20 centimeters, between which there would be films of polycarbonate, a highly resistant plastic product. This technology has already been proven effective. The industry is going to repeat the test on a sample of 20-centimeter thick glass using war-grade weapons.
So this weapon is a variant of the AK-47. It was actually produced by the famous Russian engineer Kalashnikov.
For conformity certification, the gunman must follow a very precise procedure.
The glass was rated for 3 shots inside of a 120 millimeter triangle. That's how they laboratory test the armor to make sure that it's certified to defeat those certain munitions.
So we shot this glass 3 times with the AK-47. The first impact barely broke through the layers of glass, and then you can actually see some of the other impacts going a little bit deeper into the glass. You can actually see that the first layer of glass is all broken here, and then we'll pull out this piece of bullet. It's just a small piece of it that actually gets broken up into smaller pieces as it goes inside. And then you can see some of the other glass just falling out of there.
As it penetrates the first layers of the glass, the bullet is shattered. That's the point of the multi-layered structure. The bullet, propelled at 2,500 kilometers per hour, acquires a force which breaks the glass, but when it reaches the plastic film, the force is turned on the bullet, which then disintegrates.
This piece of glass can withstand probably about 50 shots of the same rifle. What the idea is to get the customer or our client out of a dangerous situation as quick as possible. So we're buying him time, is what we're doing.
Unbreakable windows, infallible bodywork, the Beast is indeed a whole system of exceptional protection. It carries several bags of the president's blood group. It can produce a smoke screen to throw off attackers, an electromagnetic shield capable of jamming all local signals, and also an oxygen cylinder to insulate the car in case of a bacteriological or a chemical attack. It takes nearly 4 months to completely transform a vehicle.
So this is completely armored. It's going to stop all the high-power rifles, the AK-47, the M16, grenades, any kind of IEDs, explosion underneath. It's going to be, the occupants are going to be fully protected.
But in order to guarantee the protection of presidents, there have to be top-class drivers capable of driving 7-ton vehicles with ease. The Beast is driven by Secret Service agents trained for driving. And in New York, we find the Tony Scotti Vehicle Dynamics Institute, the most highly reputed center in the world for training armored car drivers.
The president and the vice president are both protected by the Secret Service. And in fact, we've had the pleasure of training some of the Secret Service's evasive driving instructors.
To train his drivers, Joseph has elaborated 2 tests. The first consists of avoiding obstacles while driving at high speed.
We've got a sedan running through the slalom now, and this exercise allows them to feel the vehicle's cornering capabilities, what the vehicle feels like as it approaches its limits.
This armored sports vehicle weighs 5 tons, 3 times more than the equivalent commercial vehicle.
Big difference in the cornering capability, the weight, and even the length of the vehicle. So obviously the maximum speed at which we can drive through the exercise is going to be much lower. So let's go. We can go through at 80% of the vehicle's capability, which is approximately 28 miles an hour. Even though that seems slow to the average driver, when you're in such a heavy vehicle, you feel a lot more understeer. Got to make a lot more steering input to maintain control.
Even at a modest speed, in a slalom, the road holding of a 5-ton vehicle is difficult to master. During a turn, the car is subjected to a centrifugal force. It's this force which pulls the driver to the outside. It allows its turn, but it can also provoke a rollover. In an armored vehicle, much heavier, the center of gravity is positioned higher than normal. This centrifugal force, proportional to the height of the center of gravity, is thus much greater. And in the case of a sharp bend, and with no training, the driver can quickly lose control of the vehicle. The second test consists of a simulation of an ambush. In this case, it will take the form of a zigzag.
You've got to take speed off the vehicle using the brakes, and of course, once you've gotten the vehicle sorted out, you want to get back to the gas. You want to spend as little time as possible in that kill zone. Sure, so now we're going to do it at a higher speed, 48 miles an hour. If I'm a good bad guy, I'm going to do my best to limit your options to get out of that kill zone. Our job is to train drivers to be able to overcome the greatest amount of those obstacles that the adversary places in front of them in terms of time, distance, and maneuvering space. And doing that in a vehicle that is very heavy, may require some different techniques to get it to slow down or accelerate in order to maintain control in those environments.
Cautious braking, control of the acceleration, along with precision steering.
Speed is not survival, control is survival. And that's very important for these professional drivers to be able to operate at a very high range of the vehicle's performance capability in terms of cornering without losing control.
More haste, less control. This driving lesson sounds like a code of conduct for presidents.